Take a moment, just a moment, to let your shoulders drop a little lower than they were a breath ago. Let your jaw soften. Let the small muscles around your eyes relax, the ones that have been working all day without you noticing. There's nothing here that needs your attention. No task waiting, no message to answer, no appointment to remember. Tonight, you are simply going to drift, slowly, gently, into a story. And the story will carry you the rest of the way into sleep. Settle into your bed. Feel the weight of the blankets across your legs. That quiet pressure that tells your body it is safe. Feel the pillow beneath the side of your face or beneath the back of your head, however you prefer to rest. Notice the small warmth that gathers wherever your skin touches the sheets. That little pool of warmth that grows slowly the longer you stay still. Take a slow breath in through your nose and let it out through your mouth softly, as if you were breathing onto a cold window pane. And another, in and out. You do not have to control your breathing. You only have to notice it, the way you might notice a tide that has been moving in and out for a long, long time without your help. Tonight, the place we are going is far away from anywhere you have been. It is a warm, slow place. It is a place made of mist and lantern light, of pale curving bone and gentle copper, of soft hums and softer hisses. You will not have to do anything when you arrive. You will only have to wander and watch and listen. If your mind wanders during the story, that is perfectly fine. If you drift off before the end, that is more than fine. That is exactly the point. The story will go on without you, and you will be carried by it into rest. So let your eyes close, if they have not already. Let your hands rest open or curled, whichever feels easier. Let your tongue rest soft behind your teeth. Let the day, with all its small noises and small worries, begin to step back, one quiet pace at a time. And now, gently, slowly, we begin. You are standing on the small, wet boards of a skiff. The skiff is narrow, painted a faded green, and it rocks beneath your feet with a kind motion, the way a cradle moves when a patient hand is rocking it. All around you, in every direction you can see, there's mist. Warm mist. Pale mist. Mist that is not gray, not white, but something gentler than either. The color of milk left out in the sun, or the color of the inside of a shell. The water beneath the skiff is flat, glassy, the surface barely troubled by the boat's slow forward motion. You cannot see far. The mist closes the world into a soft circle, perhaps 20 paces across, perhaps 30. Beyond that, everything fades into pale, uncertain shapes that might be nothing at all. You can smell the mist. It smells faintly of salt, but not the sharp salt of the open ocean. A softer salt. A salt that has been steeped in warm water with something sweet, something herbal, something a little like honey, a little like the dried flowers that hang in old kitchens. It is a smell that makes you breathe a little deeper than you meant to. And then you hear it. A low hum. Long, slow, almost too low to call a sound. It comes from somewhere ahead, somewhere in the mist, and it rises and falls so gently that at first you mistake it for your own pulse in your ears. But no, it is out there. A hum like a held breath. A hum like the inside of a great empty bell. The skiff moves forward, drawn by a current you cannot see, and slowly, slowly, a shape begins to appear in the mist. At first, it is only a deeper pale, a soft brightness with edges. Then it gathers form, long, low, curving, You see the suggestion of ribs. You see the lift of lantern light through the fog. You see the gentle silhouette of the ferry. It is enormous, and it is quiet, and it sits upon the water as though it has always sat there. The ferry. The hull is flat, broad, made of pale, curving bone, laid edge to edge and bound with dark, waxed rope. These are the ribs of the long extinct sea giants, creatures that once moved through these waters, and now lend their bones to this slow, patient craft. The bones glow faintly, the way old ivory glows when a candle is held near it. They are smooth. They are warm to look at. They hum. That is the sound, you realize. The hum is the bones themselves. When the air pressure shifts, when the mist thickens or thins, the ribs of the ferry sing low to one another, the way wine glasses sing when a wet finger circles their rims, but slower, deeper, kinder. Your skiff draws alongside. A rope ladder, soft with damp, hangs down from the deck. You take hold of it. The wet rope is cool against your palms, fibrous, comforting in the way a rope is comforting when you trust it to hold you. You climb, slowly. There is no hurry. Each rung gives a little beneath your weight, and the ladder sways in its gentle way, and the hum of the ribs grows louder and softer and louder again as you rise. You step over the low gunwale. You are aboard. The deck under your bare feet is smooth, pale bone, polished by many quiet years of careful walking. It is warmer than you expected. Not hot, just warm, the way a stone is warm at the end of a long afternoon. You stand a moment, and you let yourself feel it. The slow, slow rocking of the flat hull. The warmth coming up through your soles. The mist drifting past your ankles in pale, lazy ribbons. Lanterns hang at intervals along the curving rail. Brass lanterns, round, with little hinged doors, each one holding a candle of soft amber light. The light does not reach far. The mist takes it, holds it, scatters it. Each lantern sits inside its own little halo of glow, a soft, warm orb floating in the pale air. You can see perhaps 4 lanterns ahead of you, and then the deck curves away into mist. And beyond that, there's only the suggestion of more light, more glow. The ferry continuing on around its long, slow shape. A figure is waiting for you. She is not tall. She is not short. She is wrapped in a long coat the color of dried lavender, and her hair is tied back with a strip of pale cloth, and her hands are folded in front of her with the easy patience of someone who has waited many times before. This is the Fog-Brewer. She inclines her head when she sees you. Not a bow, just a kind acknowledgement. She smiles, a slow, small smile, and she does not speak. Speech does not seem to be the way of things here. She lifts one hand and gestures along the curving deck, and you understand without words that you are welcome, that you are to follow, that everything ahead of you is calm. You follow. The deck curves gently to the left. You walk slowly, because there is no other way to walk here. The slow rocking of the hull means each step is taken with a little care, a little awareness, and after only a few paces, you find that you are walking in time with the boat's gentle motion, your weight shifting forward as the hull tips forward, your weight shifting back as the hull tips back. It is not quite like walking. It is more like being carried. The Fog-Brewer moves ahead of you with the same easy rhythm. Her coat trails just a little behind her, brushing the deck with a soft sound that you almost cannot hear. As you walk, you begin to notice the funnels. They rise from the deck at slow intervals. Tall brass funnels, narrow at the bottom and wide at the top, like horns turned upward toward the sky. Each funnel is taller than you. Each is polished, but with a soft patina, a greenish bloom in the seams where damp has settled over the years. Condensation beads upon them, fat, slow drops that gather and slide and gather again. From the wide mouth of each funnel, very slowly, a pale tendril of steam unspools. The steam rises a foot, 2 feet, 3, and then it joins the mist around the boat and becomes indistinguishable from it. You realize you are watching the fog being made, or rather, being released. The ferry is not floating through the mist. The ferry is the mist's source. The funnels hiss very softly. A long, slow hiss, like the slow exhale of someone sleeping. You can hear several of them now, at different distances along the deck, and together they make a sound that is almost a chorus. Many slow breaths, all out, all out, all out. The Fog-Brewer pauses by one of the funnels. She lifts her hand and places her palm flat against the brass. She closes her eyes. She listens. After a moment, she nods, satisfied, and moves on. You understand that she has been checking the funnel the way a gardener might check a kettle on the stove. Everything is well. Everything is brewing as it should. You follow her further along the deck. A stairway opens before you, a short, broad stair that leads down into the lower deck. The wood of the steps, where there is wood, is dark and worn smooth. The bone railings curve under your hand. You descend slowly. The lower deck is warmer, noticeably warmer. The smell of marshflower steam rises to meet you, that soft salt and honey smell, but stronger here, fuller, with new notes in it. You can almost taste it on the back of your tongue. You can feel the warmth on your face, on the backs of your hands, the way warmth gathers in a kitchen on a winter evening. You step down into the broad, open space of the lower deck, and you stop, and you look. The kettles. 3 great copper kettles sit in a long row along the center of the deck. Each one is taller than you. Each one is round and bellied, polished to a soft rose gold gleam, set upon a low brick hearth where slow blue flame burns beneath. Steam rises from the kettles in thick, gentle plumes. The plumes rise to the ceiling, which is not a ceiling exactly, but a sort of canopy of woven cloth and slatted bone. And from the canopy, the steam is channeled into long brass pipes that run along the underside of the upper deck and feed into the bases of the funnels above. You can see now how the whole boat works. The kettles boil, the steam rises, the pipes carry it, the funnels release it, and the released steam becomes the fog that calms the inland sea. The Fog-Brewer steps down beside you. She gestures to the kettles with a small, open hand. She walks you slowly along the row. The first kettle is for Marshflower. You can see the dried petals floating on the surface of the simmering water, pale yellow, pale violet, curled and softened by the heat. The smell here is sweet, almost too sweet on its own. The second kettle is for lake salt. The water in this one is clearer, and you can see the salt crystals dissolving slowly at the bottom, glinting now and again when the firelight finds them. The smell here is mineral, soft, like clean stone. The third kettle is for the powdered moonstone. You almost cannot see anything in this one. Just water, just steam. But the steam itself glows very faintly, a pale, pale silver. And as it rises, it catches the lantern light and seems to carry it upward. The smell here is not really a smell. it is more like a quiet, a coolness in the warmth. The brews from all 3 kettles join in a 4th, smaller vessel near the wall, a kind of mixing pot where the streams come together and become the single warm broth that becomes tomorrow's fog. The Fog-Brewer dips a long-handled copper ladle into this mixing pot and stirs, slowly, 3 times to the left, 3 times to the right. The ladle gives a dull, soft clink against the side of the pot. The sound is round and small and pleasant. She lifts the ladle. She pours a little into a small clay cup. She hands the cup to you. You take it in both hands. The clay is warm. The broth inside is the color of weak tea, and it steams gently. And the smell of it, the smell of marshflower and lake salt, and the soft, cool quiet of Moonstone, fills your nose and the back of your throat. You bring the cup to your lips. You sip. It is warm. It is sweet, just a little. It is salty, just a little. It tastes faintly of honey, and faintly of stone, and faintly of something you cannot name, something old and kind. You feel the warmth move down through your chest. You feel your shoulders lower another small notch. You did not know they had been holding tension. The Fog-Brewer watches you drink. She nods slowly. She pours a cup for herself, and she sips, and she closes her eyes for a long moment, and she sighs. A small, contented sigh. For a while, you both stand there in the warm steam of the kettle room, sipping, listening to the soft, slow boil, watching the steam rise in patient plumes. The kettles murmur. The fire whispers under them. The bone ribs of the Ferry hum, somewhere above you, low and long. Eventually, the Fog-Brewer sets her cup down on a small wooden shelf by the wall. She picks up a wooden tray. On the tray are 3 small tins, each with a tight-fitting lid and a small brass spoon. She gestures to you to come closer. You set your own cup down beside hers. You step in close. She opens the first tin. Inside are the dried marshflowers, petals upon petals, layered the way old letters are layered in a forgotten drawer, pale and faintly sweet-smelling. She lifts the brass spoon. She measures 1 small spoonful, slowly, carefully, leveling it with her finger. She tips the spoonful into the first kettle. The petals settle on the surface and begin to soften, slowly. She opens the second tin. Inside are the coarse crystals of lake salt, gray, almost translucent, the color of a winter sky. She measures 1 spoonful. She tips it into the second kettle. The crystals sink. They begin to dissolve. She opens the third tin. Inside is the powdered moonstone, fine and pale, like the finest flower, with a faint silver shimmer where the light catches it. She measures 1 spoonful. She tips it into the third kettle. The powder lies on the surface for a moment, then sinks slowly, swirling, leaving little spirals of pale light in the water. She closes the tins. She sets the tray aside. She looks at you, and she smiles her small, slow smile. And you understand that this is the work, and that the work is patient, and that you have time. She gestures upward toward the stair, toward the upper deck. It is time to walk the funnels. You take up the long copper ladle she offers you. It is heavier than you expected, but balanced in your hand. You feel the cool of the metal in your palm. She takes up another ladle for herself. Together, you climb the stair, slowly, slowly, back up into the cooler air of the upper deck. The upper deck is just as you left it. The funnels still hiss their long, quiet hisses. The lanterns still float in their little halos of warm amber light. The mist still drifts past in pale ribbons, but you understand it differently now. You know what is inside the funnels. You know what gives the mist its softness. The Fog-Brewer walks to the first funnel. She gestures for you to do the same. You stand at her side. She shows you, with slow, patient movements, how to lift the small hinged plate on the side of the funnel, how it opens like a tiny door, just wide enough to admit the bowl of the ladle. She shows you how to dip the ladle into a small reservoir mounted just beside the funnel, a reservoir kept full by the brass pipes from below. She shows you how to scoop a measure of the warm broth, how to tip it gently into the funnel through the little door, how to close the door softly so the brass does not clang. You try. You lift your hinged plate. You dip your ladle. The broth is warm against the back of your fingers. You tip it in. The funnel gives a small, contented hiss as the warm liquid meets its inner heat. You close the plate. A new tendril of steam unspools from the funnel's mouth above and joins the mist around the boat. You did it. You have made fog. The Fog-Brewer nods. She is pleased, in her quiet way. She moves to the next funnel. You follow. You do the same. Lift, dip, tip, close. A small hiss. A new tendril. You move to the next funnel and the next. After a while, you begin to feel the rhythm of it. Lift, dip, tip, close. Lift, dip, tip, close. The slow rocking of the hull matches your movements. The hum of the ribs rises and falls in time with the work. Your hands grow used to the weight of the ladle. Your shoulders settle. Your breathing settles. You walk the long, curving deck. There are many funnels, 20, perhaps 30, you do not count, and each one gets its small, careful measure of broth, and each one gives its small, contented hiss in return. The mist around the boat thickens, just a little, just enough. The lantern halos grow softer at their edges. The world becomes more and more enclosed in pale, warm white. As you work, you notice the mist gauges. Small brass instruments mounted near each funnel, circular faces with a single slow needle, marked with delicate symbols you do not recognize, but that you understand all the same. One symbol for thin mist, one for full mist, one for heavy mist. The needles drift slowly between them. The Fog-Brewer pauses at each gauge, watches the needle for a moment, sometimes adjusts a small valve on the side of the funnel, sometimes simply nods and moves on. She is reading the sea's mood, you realize. Each gauge tells her something about how the mist is settling, how the inland sea is breathing tonight. She lets you watch her read one of the gauges. She points to the needle. She shows you how it tips, very slightly, toward full. She turns a small valve. The needle settles. She nods. You nod back. Somewhere out in the mist, very far away and very muffled, a bell rings. One soft note. It is the bell of another skiff, you understand, passing somewhere on the inland sea, calling out gently to let others know it is there. The note hangs in the white air for a long moment, and then dissolves. A little later, from a different direction, another bell. Another. The bells are slow and far apart, and they do not seem to require any answer. They are simply present, like distant stars. You and the Fog-Brewer continue along the deck. After many funnels, you have lost track of the number, and it does not matter. The curve of the deck brings you to a place where the rail widens into a small platform. On this platform sit several great coils of rope, dark and damp, thick as your arm. coils make a kind of low seat, soft enough to rest upon. The Fog-Brewer sets her ladle down. She gestures to the coils. You set your ladle down beside hers. You sit. The rope under you is heavy and yielding. It smells faintly of tar and of salt, and of the long, slow years it has spent aboard this boat. It is damp beneath your hands, but pleasantly so, the way moss is pleasantly damp. You let your fingers rest on the coils, and you feel the slow, stiff give of the fibers, and you let yourself sink a little into the seat. The Fog-Brewer disappears for a moment. She returns carrying a small tray with 2 fresh cups of the warm broth. She hands one to you. She sits down beside you on the coils. You both drink. Slowly. You watch the funnels from here. You can see 4 of them from your seat, each one releasing its slow tendril of pale steam, each one feeding the mist that surrounds the boat. You watch the tendrils rise. They rise straight at first, then they thin, then they braid. They braid themselves into the night, twisting gently around each other, weaving into the larger mist, becoming part of it. You did not know steam could braid itself, but it does, slowly, patiently, the way a long, quiet hand might braid hair. The Fog-Brewer says nothing. You say nothing. The bones of the Ferry hum. The funnels hiss their long, slow hisses. Somewhere far away, a bell. Somewhere closer, the drip of condensation from a brass funnel onto the deck. A single soft drop, then another, slow and unhurried. You finish your broth. You set the cup down on the deck beside the coil. You let your hands rest in your lap. For a long time, you sit. Time on the ferry does not move the way time moves elsewhere. There are no clocks. There's no schedule. There's only the slow brewing, the slow releasing, the slow walking of the deck. An hour might pass. 2. You cannot tell. The mist around the boat does not change in any obvious way, and the lanterns do not burn down, and the bones of the ferry do not stop humming, and the kettles below do not stop steaming. You feel yourself sinking deeper into the rope coil, not falling asleep, not yet, just sinking. The way a stone sinks slowly into a deep pool, with no urgency, no resistance. Eventually, the Fog-Brewer rises, slowly. She takes the empty cups and sets them on the tray. She gestures, kindly, that there is more work to do. But the gesture is gentle, the way you might invite a tired friend to come for a walk, not the way you might be summoned. You rise too. You pick up your ladle. You follow her along the next stretch of deck. There are more funnels, more gauges, more small, careful measures of broth tipped through the small hinged doors. Lift, tip, tip, close. Lift, tip, tip, close. The rhythm settles into you again. You pass beneath one of the brass pipes that runs along the underside of the upper canopy. You hear the warm rush of steam inside the pipe, a soft, sustained whisper, like a long, quiet sentence that has no end. You touch the pipe. It is warm, like the back of a cat sleeping in the sun. You take your hand away. The deck continues to curve. You realize dimly that the ferry is shaped like a long oval, that to walk the full circuit of it would take some time, and that you and the Fog-Brewer have been gradually working your way around the whole boat. You do not mind. There's nowhere else to go. You come to a part of the deck where the rail is hung with small bells, not loud bells, tiny ones, the size of acorns, made of dull brass. They are strung in a row along a length of soft cord. As the boat rocks, the bells rock with it, and now and again two of them brush together and give the smallest possible chime, softer than a whisper, softer than a sigh. The Fog-Brewer pauses by the bells. She listens. You listen. The bells chime once, then twice, then are silent for a long while. You do not know what the bells are for. You suspect they are not for anything in particular, except for the small kindness of being there. You continue on. You pass a basket woven of fine, pale reeds hanging from a hook in the rail. Inside the basket are folded cloths, soft, gray, slightly damp. The Fog-Brewer takes a cloth from the basket. She walks to the nearest brass funnel and gently wipes the condensation from its surface, polishing slowly, slowly, until the brass shines warm in the lantern light. She gestures for you to do the same with the next funnel. You take a cloth. You stand by your funnel. You begin to wipe. The cloth glides over the brass. The condensation transfers. The brass dries. The warm patina gold of it appears beneath. The motion is small and circular, and you find that you can do it for a long while without thinking. Your hand moves on its own. Your eyes follow the slow gleam of the polished metal. Your breath settles. When the funnel is dry, you fold the cloth and tuck it into a small pocket on your sleeve, the way the Fog-Brewer has tucked hers. You move on. You polish another funnel and another. The work is endless and unhurried. There will always be more condensation to wipe, more brass to warm. There's no completing it, and that is part of its peace. After some time, you cannot say how much, the Fog-Brewer touches your arm gently. You stop polishing. You follow her gaze. She is looking out over the rail into the mist. In the white air, very faintly, you can see a small light moving. A skiff is passing. You can just make out the silhouette of it, narrow, low, with a single lantern at its bow. You cannot see who is aboard or what they carry. You only see the slow, drifting passage of the small light, and you hear the distant muffled chime of its bell. One note, then another, then silence. The skiff passes. The light fades. The mist closes again. The Fog-Brewer turns back to her work. You turn back to yours. A long time passes. You walk a stretch of deck where the bone is unusually warm beneath your feet. You pause, curious, and you crouch down to touch it. The bone hums more strongly here. You feel the vibration come up through your fingertips, gentle and slow. You wonder whether one of the great kettles is directly beneath you. Most likely it is. You stay crouched for a moment, with your hand on the warm, humming bone, and you let the small, good feeling of it travel up through your wrist, your arm, your shoulder, your chest. Then you stand and continue. You pass a small wooden door set into the inner wall of the upper deck. The door is round, slightly low. The Fog-Brewer opens it for you. Inside is a tiny chamber, just big enough for a low bench and a small brass stove. On the stove sits a kettle. On the bench is a folded blanket. You understand this is a resting place, a place where the Fog-Brewer takes shelter on cooler nights, where she warms her hands when they grow stiff from the brass. You step inside for a moment. The little chamber smells of wood smoke and marshflower, and something a bit like cedar, though there is no cedar here. You stand inside it just long enough to take in the smell. Then you step back out, and the Fog-Brewer closes the small round door softly behind you. You continue along the deck. The night, if it is night, and you think it must be, though you cannot quite tell, feels deeper now. The lanterns burn a little warmer, or seem to. The mist sits a little heavier on the water. The hum of the bones is slower, longer drawn. The funnels still hiss, but more softly, as if they too are tiring. You make another circuit of the deck. You and the Fog-Brewer ladle broth into each funnel one more time. You read the mist gauges. You polish another section of brass. You move slowly. You move very slowly. At last, when you have completed a full circuit and returned to the small platform of rope coils, the Fog-Brewer pauses. She gestures gently that the work is done. Not finished. The work is never finished, but done for now. Tomorrow's mist is brewing. The funnels are fed. The gauges are read. The sea is calm. She gestures down toward the lower deck. You follow her down the broad, worn stair, slowly, one step at a time, your hand sliding along the smooth bone railing. The kettle room is warmer than ever. The kettles still simmer, but lower now, on a softer flame. The mixing pot is full of the warm, fragrant broth. The smell of marshflower and lake salt and moonstone fills the air, soft and round and full. The Fog-Brewer ladles out a small bowl of the broth for each of you. Not cups this time. Bowls, shallow and wide, the kind you can hold in both hands and lift to your face. She hands you yours. She takes hers. She gestures to a low bench against the wall. You sit. She sits beside you. You hold the warm bowl in both hands and feel the warmth seep through your palms. You sip. The broth is warmer now and richer, as though the long, slow brewing has deepened it. You taste the honey salt stone of it. You taste the small, bright note of the moonstone, which is more a feeling than a flavor, a kind of cool clarity in the warmth. You drink slowly. You let your eyes drift over the kettle room. The copper bellies of the great kettles glow in the soft firelight. The steam rises in patient plumes and finds its way into the brass pipes above. The fire whispers under the kettles. The bones of the Ferry hum, low and long, above and around you. You finish your broth. You set the empty bowl down on the bench beside you. The Fog-Brewer takes the bowl and stacks it with her own on a small tray. She rises. She gestures kindly to follow her once more. You follow. She leads you to a far corner of the lower deck, where a small alcove opens behind a curtain of soft, pale cloth. She draws the curtain aside. Inside the alcove is a low bed. It is small. It is simple. The frame is bone, smoothed and polished. The mattress is thick and soft, covered in a quilt the color of the inside of a shell. Pale, slightly pink, slightly cream. A folded woolen blanket lies at the foot. A small pillow waits at the head. The Fog-Brewer steps aside. She gestures to the bed. She smiles her slow, small smile. You understand that this is for you, that you have helped and worked and walked the long, curving deck, and that now you may rest. You step into the alcove. You sit on the edge of the bed. The mattress gives gently beneath you. You feel the warmth of the lower deck around you. You feel the slow rocking of the hull. You feel the deep, low hum of the bones all around. You lie back. You let your head settle into the pillow. The pillow is cool and soft, and just the right kind of yielding. You draw the quilt up over your legs. You let your hands rest on top of the quilt, palms down, fingers slightly curled. The Fog-Brewer stands at the curtain. She nods slowly. She lets the curtain fall closed. You are alone in the soft, pale light of the alcove. You can still hear very faintly the slow boil of the kettles. the soft fire whispering beneath them, the slow, long hum of the bones. Far away, somewhere above you, the slow, soft hiss of the funnels releasing their mist. Somewhere very far, the muffled chime of a passing bell. You let your eyes close. You feel the slow rocking of the hull. Up, down, slow as breath, slow as breath. You feel the warmth of the lower deck around you. You feel the warmth of the quilt over you. You feel the soft pillow beneath your head. You feel your shoulders settle. You feel your jaw soften. You feel the small muscles around your eyes relax. The hum of the bones goes on. Long, low, kind. The hiss of the funnels goes on. Soft, slow, far. The boat rocks. Up, down, up, down. You do not have to do anything. The Fog-Brewer is tending the kettles. The funnels are releasing their mist. The gauges are reading the sea's calm mood. The bones are humming their slow, long hum. All is well. All is well. You breathe in. You breathe out. You breathe in. You breathe out. The mist is thickening softly around the ferry. The lanterns are floating in their little halos. The bells of distant skiffs ring once, twice, and are gone. You sink slowly into the soft mattress, the way a stone sinks into a deep pool, with no urgency, with no resistance. The kettles murmur, the fire whispers, the bones hum. The mist braids itself into the night. Slow, patient, endless. You are warm, you are safe, you are carried. The boat rocks, up, down, slow as breath, slow as breath. The funnels hiss somewhere far above. The brass beads with quiet condensation. The ladles rest in their hooks. The cloths fold themselves in their pale reed basket. The Fog-Brewer sits by the kettles, sipping her broth, watching the slow blue flames. She is not waiting. She is only present. You are not waiting either. You are only resting. You breathe in. You breathe out. The hum of the bones grows softer in your ears, or perhaps you grow softer to it. You cannot tell. It does not matter. The mist beyond the ferry grows pale and thick. The lanterns blur into one long, gentle glow. The bells fade. The hissing of the funnels fades. The boat rocks. You rest. You rest deeply. You are carried by the slow, flat hull, by the warm, slow brew, by the long, low hum. The fog braids itself into the night, and you braid yourself into sleep. Slow, soft, warm. The kettles murmur, the fire whispers, the bones hum, the mist rises, and you drift, you drift, you drift. Sleep well, sleep well, sleep. The boat rocks, up, down. The mattress beneath you is deep and patient. The quilt across you is heavy in the gentlest way, heavy like a hand laid softly on your back, heavy like warm sand, heavy like the slow weight of an old, kind dream. You sink a little further. You sink the way a leaf sinks through still water, turning, turning, never in a hurry, with all the time in the world. Somewhere above the cabin, the funnels exhale. A slow, low sound. Steam meeting mist. Mist meeting steam. The two of them folding into one another, the way two old friends lean shoulder to shoulder on a long evening. The Fog-Brewer ladles broth from one kettle into another. The brass rings just once, soft as a thumb tapped on a sleeping drum. Then quiet again. Then the long blue whisper of the flames. You breathe in. You breathe out. The cabin is full of small, kind sounds. The creak of the hull, slow and round. The soft tick of a copper lid. The hiss of a damp cloth set on a warm stone. The the hush of the river moving beneath you, unhurried, deep, patient. You do not need to listen for them. They are already listening for you. The lanterns outside are blurred to halos now, and the halos are blurred to a single low glow against the window. A glow the color of honey held up to candlelight. A glow the color of a memory of warmth. You let your eyes rest. You let your shoulders rest. You let your hands rest, palms soft, fingers loose. You let the long muscles of your back rest one by one, the way lanterns are lowered one by one at the end of a quiet festival. The boat rocks, slow as breath, slow as breath. The Fog-Brewer hums very faintly, a tune with no beginning and no end, a tune that has always been humming somewhere in the world, and you are only now near enough to hear it. It is the color of the broth. It is the color of the mist. It is the color of the deep blue flame under the kettles. You do not try to follow it. You only let it pass through you, in through one ear, out through the other, in, out. The hum of the bones is so soft now you could mistake it for the river, or for your own slow blood, or for the long, low note that the night itself makes when no one is listening. You are listening, and you are not listening. It does not matter which. The mist beyond the small round window thickens, then thins, then thickens again. It is doing what mist does, folding, unfolding, folding. It has been doing this since long before you arrived, and it will be doing this long after you have slipped into sleep. You are safe inside its patient folding. You are safe inside the warm wooden cabin. You are safe inside the slow, slow rocking of the ferry. The Fog-Brewer sets her cup down on the small table. The cup is the color of river stones. The table is the color of old, oiled cedar. The whole cabin smells of cedar and broth, and something like rain on warm bricks. You remember the smell of cedar from earlier in the evening, from the long boards of the pier, from the lintels above the lantern shop, from the soft chips swept into a small pile beside the carpenter's stool, where the old man worked a slow plane across a slow length of wood. It is the same cedar, the same gentle golden smell, the same hush. You remember the bells, too. The bells of the distant skiffs. The bells of the tea house on the high bank. The bells that the Fog-Brewer's apprentice rings somewhere on the upper deck, once at the turning of each watch. You have not heard the bell for some time. Perhaps the watch has not turned. Perhaps it has turned, and you did not need to notice. Either is fine. Either is fine. The kettles murmur. The fire whispers. The bones hum. You let your jaw soften. You let your tongue rest behind your teeth. You let the small muscles around your eyes go loose, the way petals go loose when a flower has finished its long day. You let your forehead smooth. You let your breath grow long. You let your breath grow slow. You let your breath grow quiet. Outside, the river carries the ferry the way a sleeping mother carries a sleeping child, without effort, without thought, only carrying, only holding. You are held. You are held. You are held. The Fog-Brewer rises very slowly and pads in her soft felt slippers to the small stove. She lifts a lid. The steam blooms upward, pale, slow, fragrant. It curls along the low ceiling of the cabin and finds its way to the small round vent and out into the night, where it joins the larger mist. Every breath of steam from her kettle goes out into the river fog. and every breath of fog comes back in time, through the same small vent, to be brewed again. The cabin and the river share their breath. You share it with them. In, out, in, out. There's no edge between you and the cabin now. No edge between the cabin and the river. No edge between the river and the night. Only one long, slow breath passing through all of you. The Fog-Brewer sets the lid back down. The brass rings once, very softly. She returns to her low stool. She takes up her cup. She sips. You can almost taste it. The broth. Warm and round and a little sweet. The taste of root vegetables left to simmer all day. The taste of a single bay leaf drifting at the bottom of the pot. The taste of a kitchen at the end of a long, gentle afternoon. You do not need to drink. The smell is enough. The warmth is enough. The quilt rises and falls on your chest. Slow, even, slow. Somewhere, far down the river, a single bell sounds. One soft, round note. It rolls across the water, slow as a coin tipped onto velvet. It reaches the ferry, brushes against the hull, and is gone. You did not need to hear it. You only heard it because the night offered it to you. The night offers many small things. A flicker of light on the ceiling, a soft creak of wood, a breath of mist against the window glass, a faint, sweet trace of cedar, a faint, warm trace of broth, a long, low trace of the humming bones. You accept them all. You hold none of them. You let them pass. In, out. The mist is thicker now. The lanterns are softer. The world beyond the window is one long, gentle, glowing breath. You are folded into that breath. The boat rocks. Up, down, up, down. Your thoughts, if there are any left, are also rocking. They drift up like small paper boats and drift away. You do not need to follow them. You do not need to know where they go. If a thought arrives, you let it arrive. If it leaves, you let it leave. The river does the same with leaves. The mist does the same with light. The Fog-Brewer does the same with steam. You are in good company. You are in good company. A small lamp on a small shelf above your head is turned very low. Its flame is no bigger than a thumbnail. It does not flicker. It only glows. A small, steady, friendly glow. You do not need to watch it. But knowing it is, there is a kind of comfort. The way knowing the moon is there is a kind of comfort, even when you cannot see it through the clouds. The Fog-Brewer reaches up and turns the lamp lower still. The glow narrows. The cabin grows softer. The shadows grow rounder, gentler, fuller. You are sinking further. The mattress is deeper than you remember. The quilt is warmer than you remember. The cabin is quieter than you remember. It is not that anything has changed. It is only that you have grown softer to all of it. You have grown more porous, more open, more ready. You breathe in, you breathe out, in, out. The river hushes against the hull. A small, repeating sound, like a long word whispered over and over by someone who loves you. Hush, hush, hush. You do not need to know the word. The river knows it. That is enough. Slow as breath. Slow as breath. The Fog-Brewer hums her endless tune. The flames whisper under the kettles. The bones hum their long, low note. The mist folds itself into the night, again and again, with infinite patience. And you are deep in the warm cabin. You are deep in the warm quilt. You are deep in the slow rocking. You are deep in the long, low hum. You are deep. You are deep. You are deep. If sleep has not yet found you, it is on its way. You can feel it walking toward you, soft as felt slippers on cedar planks, soft as mist along the riverbank, soft as a hand smoothing a quilt. You do not need to go to meet it. You only need to be here, warm, held, carried. It will come. It is already coming. It is already here. Your breath grows longer. Your breath grows slower. Your breath grows quieter. The lamp above your head burns low and steady. The kettles murmur. The fire whispers. The bones hum. The boat rocks, up, down, up, down. Somewhere, the Fog-Brewer ladles broth from one kettle to another. The brass rings once, then quiet. Somewhere, far down the river, a single bell sounds. One soft, round note, then quiet. Somewhere, the mist folds itself and unfolds itself and folds itself again. Patient, endless. You are in the middle of all of it. The warm wooden middle, the soft glowing middle, the slow rocking middle. You rest. You rest deeply. You rest more deeply still. If you were standing on the deck of the ferry now, you would see only mist. A great pale river of mist flowing along the great dark river of water. You would see the lanterns blurred to soft moons. You would see the shapes of distant skiffs, like sleeping animals, drifting along the current. You would see the tea house lights on the high bank, no brighter than candle flames seen through gauze. But you are not standing on the deck. You are inside. You are warm. You are wrapped. You are carried. The Fog-Brewer takes her cup. She rinses it in a small basin. She sets it upside down on the cloth. She wipes her hands on her apron. She returns to her stool. She sits. She is not waiting. She is only present. You are not waiting either. You are only resting. The boat rocks. Slow as breath. Slow as breath. You feel the weight of the quilt on your chest, gentle and even. You feel the warmth of the mattress beneath you, deep and full. You feel the slow rise and fall of your own breathing, soft and unhurried. You feel the cabin around you, like a kind hand cupped around a small flame. You feel the river beneath the cabin, like another, larger hand. You feel the night around the river, like a third hand, the largest of all, holding everything gently in place. You are held in many hands, all of them kind, all of them slow, all of them patient. You sink further still. You sink into the warm cedar smell. You sink into the long, low hum. You sink into the soft, glowing light. You sink into the slow rocking. You sink. You sink. You sink. The mist outside grows so thick that even the lanterns disappear into it. There's only a soft, even glow at the window now. The color of warm milk. The color of a candle behind a paper screen. The color of sleep. The Fog-Brewer turns the small lamp lower. The cabin grows softer still. The shadows lean closer, gentler, kinder. She does not look at you. She does not need to. She has tended many travelers on many slow nights. She knows how sleep arrives. She knows how to leave room for it. She leaves room. You take the room. You spread into it, slowly, like warm tea spreading into still water. You are softer than you were. You are slower than you were. You are warmer than you were. The kettles murmur. The fire whispers. The bones hum. The boat rocks. Up, down, up, down. Your eyelids are heavy. They are heavier than they have been in a long time. Heavier than the quilt. Heavier than the mist. Heavier than the slow, round stones at the bottom of the river. You do not fight the weight. You welcome it. You let your eyelids be heavy. You let them rest. You let them close, if they have not already. Behind them, there's the soft glow of the cabin, and then a softer glow still, and then the colors of sleep. You drift toward it. You drift. You drift. Slow, soft, warm. The river carries the ferry. The ferry carries you. The night carries all of it, the way a great, quiet sky carries a single small star. You are the small star. You are held. You are held. You are held. The Fog-Brewer leans forward and softens the flame under the largest kettle. The blue tongues lower. The murmur of the brew gentles further. The hum of the bones gentles further. The whole cabin breathes one long, slow breath, and then another. You breathe with it. In, out, in, out. Somewhere, the apprentice rings the bell on the upper deck. One soft, round note. The turning of a watch. You hear it the way you hear a far-off voice in a dream. Without urgency, without meaning, only sound, only warmth. Then quiet, then the river, then the hum, then your breath, then sleep, walking closer. You are warm. You are safe. You are carried. You are warm. You are safe. You are carried. The mist folds. The lamp dims. The kettles murmur. The fire whispers. The bones hum. The boat rocks. Slow as breath. Slow as breath. Slow as breath. You let go of the day. You let go of yesterday. You let go of the days before that. They float away from you, like small paper boats with small, soft lanterns, down the long, quiet river. They do not need you. They are happy to drift. You let go of tomorrow. You let go of the day after. You let go of the days beyond. They drift toward you in their own time, the way mist drifts. They do not need you to hurry. They're happy to come slowly. There's only this cabin. There's only this quilt. There's only this slow rocking. There's only this breath. In, out, in, out. The Fog-Brewer hums her endless tune, softer than before. Almost not a tune. Almost only a warmth in the air. You feel it more than you hear it. It sits in your chest. It sits in your shoulders. It sits in the warm hollow at the back of your neck, where the pillow cradles you. You are cradled. You are cradled. You are cradled. The river hushes against the hull. Hush. 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 The mist breathes through the small round vent. In. Out. In. Out. The lamp glows low. The flames glow low. The bones hum low. The whole cabin glows low and warm and round, like the inside of a lantern at the end of a long festival night. You are inside the lantern. You are inside the warm round glow. You are inside the slow, soft breath. You are inside sleep already. Almost. Almost. A breath more. A breath more. Slow. Soft. Warm. You do not need to remember anything. You do not need to do anything. You do not need to be anywhere but here. Here is enough. Here is enough. Here is enough. The kettles murmur. The fire whispers. The bones hum. The boat rocks. The mist folds. The lamp dims. The night holds. You drift. You drift. You drift. The Fog-Brewer pulls a small woolen shawl over her shoulders. She closes her eyes for a moment. She opens them. She watches the slow blue flames. She is not waiting. She is only present. You are not waiting either. You are only here. Warm. Held. Carried. The river is long. The night is long. The mist is long. There is so much time. There's more time than you could ever need. You can rest. You can rest. You can rest. You let the last small thoughts drift. You let the last small sounds soften. You You let the last small lights blur. The cabin grows quieter. The cabin grows dimmer. The cabin grows further away. You are still inside it, but you are also inside something larger now. Something soft, something warm, something kind. You are inside sleep. You are inside sleep. You are inside sleep. The boat rocks, slow as breath, slow as breath. The kettles murmur, far away now. The fire whispers, far away now. The bones hum, far away now. The bells ring, far away, far away, far away. The mist folds itself into the night. You fold yourself into sleep. Slow, soft, warm. You are carried. You are carried. You are carried. And the river goes on, and the night goes on, and the mist goes on, and you rest. You rest. You rest. Sleep well. Sleep well. Sleep well. Sleep.